The launch countdown began here in Firing Room 4 of the Launch Control Center at 4 p.m. on Friday afternoon. There are 43 hours of actual countdown time, plus the time for the built-in holds. The countdown clock is now in a planned 2-hour 30-minute built-in hold, which began at 7:41 a.m. And there is 1 hour 38 minutes 10 seconds remaining in this hold. The clock will resume counting once again at 10:11 a.m. The remaining holds are at T-minus 20 minutes for 10 minutes in duration, and again at T-minus 9 minutes, approximately 20 minutes in duration. The retraction of the gantry light rotating service structure from around Atlantis began at 5:17 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. At its completion, the work began to configure switches in the cockpit for launch, and there was a final stowage of the time-critical items and the crew's personal effects. Then shortly before midnight, personnel began to be cleared from the launch pad, and the orbiter's cryogenic fuel cells were activated. Preparations also began to ready the Space Shuttle external tank for the loading of liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. The mission management team met at 4 a.m. this morning to review the countdown status, the weather forecast, and then to give a go for tanking. The countdown clock came out of a planned 2-hour built-in hold at T-minus 6 hours at 4:41 a.m., and the fueling operation began. Loading of the 143,000 gallons of liquid oxygen and 383,000 gallons of liquid hydrogen began at 7:39 a.m., or correction, at 4:41 a.m., and then was completed 2 hours and 58 minutes later at 7:39 a.m. The 7-member final inspection team was then dispatched to the launch pad. They are scheduled to be there for a total of about 2 to 2.5 hours. Activities underway during the past hour have been the inertial measurement unit pre-flight calibrations, the alignment of the Mila tracking station and the Ponce de Leon inlet tracking station antennas with the launch pad, activating the orbiter's navigation aids, and the initial communications checks with the Air Force Eastern Range. The final inspection team has been measuring the temperatures on the surface of the vehicle, looking for any ice buildup, and performing a final check for any FOD, or foreign object debris, that could strike the orbiter upon ignition. The 7-member team will have walked up and down the entire 380-foot tower of the fixed service structure at the conclusion of their inspections. We're now at